screen share. Multiple participants can share simultaneously also, it says.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fine.
just do it.
You've given me, no problem.
Yeah. Hello? Yeah, and tell your friends. Bye. No issues, no issues, no issues. Hena ji, you're from what, Mumbai?
I'm from Chennai.
Okay. Wonderful knowing you.
Same here.
I'm unmuting now for 2 minutes and then we'll mute you all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Suppose you have questions, probably we can do the chat. You start recording, Lakshmi. So
Yes, I have started recording. Megu, I think let's go ahead.
Okay. So good afternoon, all of you. We have Lakshmi Shankar here with us as a special guest for Meet the Expert. And Lakshmi does not need introduction for many of us because she's one of the pioneering members of All Ladies League and actually the architect of WEF Chennai. And she is the founder of Kaizen Consult and she wears many, many hats. But today, she's going to give us a very enlightening session which so many of us are looking forward to. It's about healing, chakra healing. And she has, a captive audience here. And I don't want to further waste my time because we need time for her and the Q&A which comes later. In between, if you all have questions, you can use the chat and type in your questions and you can unmute yourself for the Q&A which follows. But for now, when Lakshmi starts talking, you can all mute yourself so that we don't have external noises. And when people come in also, they can mute themselves. Over to you, Lakshmi. We are really, really looking forward to you and we are so happy to have you here. Go ahead.
Megu, thank you very much for your very, very kind words. I think WEF Chennai is a product of all of us. It's all our babies. You know, it's a baby which has multiple mothers. And thank you very much. And it's my utmost pleasure to talk and share about the chakras and how it impacts our system, how you can build your immunity through this, how you can understand that there's something wrong with me which I need to reset. Now, before I actually go to the topic, I would like to share a Facebook video which has been going around for quite some time, and it's very interesting and it's very relevant to this topic. Basically, the video goes like this. There's a bunch of 4 to 5 boys sitting outside their home, probably age 8 to age 15, and they're singing hymns, you know. This is in the African setting. And then a neighbor of theirs comes out and he smiles at them, waves at them and says hi, hello and everything. And then he says, hey guys, why are you singing these hymns? Have you seen God? So these kids are kind of dumbfounded, and then the man walks to his car. He's going to open the car door and get in when the youngest of the kid looks at him and says, hey uncle, hold on. How do you know that there's no God? This man says, oh, that's common sense. You don't need anything more than common sense to know that there's no God. So this child actually, you know, he goes within himself. He's quiet for a while, for a couple of seconds, and then he says, okay, can you see common sense? The man is stumped. Can you touch common sense? The man is stumped. So you know that there are certain things we cannot see. That doesn't mean it does not exist. The whole topic today about chakras and our aura is centered around those electromagnetic energies which we cannot see. Nonetheless, it exists. It guides our lives. It gives us health. It gives us ill health. It makes us feel well. It gives wellness and it gives us well-being. And it also makes us, you know, lead our life with a lot of fulfillment. Now, there are basically 3 kinds of energy bodies. The first energy body is the universal energy, which is there all around us. Many galaxies, many suns, many such celestial things, you know, they emit their own energies and they create this whole system of energy bodies, you know, which is constantly moving around with various different kinds of vibrations. Now, we are concerned with 3 energy bodies, basically the reality of the universe which exists. And number 2, in our bodies, we have certain energy centers called the chakras. They're called chakras because they rotate like the wheel. And chakra is the word for a wheel in Sanskrit. And we also have certain pipes, you know. the way we have hose pipes which carries water from the main tank, we have certain pipes called nadis. These nadis take energy from the chakra health centers, the chakras, to rest of the bodies. Basically, these nadis are more than many thousands, but the most important thing is the 64 nadis, which are represented by the 64 yoginis in the Indic culture. Now, let's start our discussion with the, since we have energy within and around us, let's first go within our body system. Let's first go into the chakras, where it is located, how it is located, and how it functions, how it works around you, and how you can take control of it. Megu, may I request you to show the Kirlian image? Now, what Megu is going to show on the screen, share on the screen, is an image which has been captured by a very specialized camera called the Kirlian camera. You see this palm. Normally, when we see with the naked eyes, the image of the palm is different. But when a Kirlian camera captures the image of a palm, this is how it will look. It has various bodies around it. It has colors, various colors around it. These are all the energies that's flowing out of this particular palm. Now, we cannot see it, but there are people who are so attuned, who have done so much of meditation and who have conditioned their mind to such an extent that they are able to see these things, and they're called the healers. So one look at us when we are getting into their chamber, they can actually figure out, where the problem is centered through the colors, through the way we walk, through the volume of our aura, through the volume. Our body is not just restricted to the limitations of what we know as body. But unfortunately for us, that's the reality, because that's what is discerned by our sensory organs and captured by our mind. The rational mind captures what we see, what we feel, what we touch, what we taste. Now, beyond this, the rational mind cannot absorb. But there are proofs now, there are cameras which is absorbing this. Now, based on these...
So, what is this camera which is used to capture this?
It's called Kirlian camera. I think if there is an image of that, I think I sent an image. If you can flash that image on it, it's something like an X-ray camera.
Okay.
Like an X-ray can capture certain things from the body. An MRI can capture certain things from the body. The Kirlian camera, this is how the image of your body will be when you're projected to the lens of a Kirlian camera. It can actually capture the electromagnetism around you, because we are all a product of the electromagnetism. It gives body form, it gives physicality, it gives us emotions, it gives us psychological energy, it gives us intellect. Now this camera can capture it. And the use of this camera is basically to capture the images and through the image, interpret and check where something is not working to its maximum optimal level. Once you know the source, the root, you're able to figure out the course of treatment. Now, as we mentioned, let's go with it. I think we are good with this now. Can we just move to the other image? That's the chakra image. Now we are going deeper into our body. We are moving into our body. It's a little journey. So do be with me on this little journey. It's like taking a drive on the road. It's just going to be an overview. We're just going to see a few things. For detailed things, I think we need to have more discussions, and that's a different story altogether. But now let me try to capture the essence of these things in the next 40 minutes. This is the image of the chakra. Basically, there are 114 chakras. But what is important to us is these 7 chakras, which are located on your, 5 is on your spinal cord, and we have 2 chakras on the head. One is in the brow and one is on top of your head, literally center top of the head. Now we are going to start, it's always from the bottom upwards. This chakra, if you all can see this, I've just taken my browser to that. This chakra is called the Muladhara chakra in Sanskrit, and it is called the root chakra in English. The very word root explains to us the importance of this chakra. Now, it rotates, it vibrates with the color red. Basically because it is connected to earth. Through its electromagnetic force, it is attracted to the gravity of earth. So when it is attracted, it pulls us to earth. Just imagine if this power of attraction doesn't happen, if there is no electricity around this chakra, there is no power of attraction. You're not pulled by the gravity. You will be floating away, upwards and upwards across four
We'll be
layers
flying
of
like birds.
atmosphere. Sorry?
We'll be flying like birds.
Yes, you will be flying and floating away from Earth. So you don't exist on this Earth. You are not an entity on this Earth. So the most important element, the most important part of this chakra is it gives us the right to live on this planet Earth. So its working is very, 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 very important. It needs to be in its optimum level of vibration. That's when it emits the kind of power and energy which can be attracted to Earth. Sometimes when we are giddy, when we lose consciousness, when we get into a seizure, situations where, it happens basically the power here, the electromagnetic power weakens. As it weakens, you are moving away and away from Earth. And when this weakens, the air element increases. It covers your entire brain, the system, and then you lose consciousness. When such a thing happens, normally people bring salt and make the patient smell salt. When you smell salt, salt again has the power to realign the electricity to the earth because it comes from the earth. It's extremely charged with the earth power. So the minute they show salt, you slowly, it gets balanced. The air reduces and your electromagnetism here on this root chakra increases. Now on the physical plane, this is associated with planet Earth, which is basically solids. Planet Earth is not water, isn't it? Earth is earth, which is solid, and it occupies space. Now this earth qualities are imbibed or taken by this chakra, and it is responsible for the solid health of the solid organs of our body. Which are the solid organs of our body? Nail, your hair, your bones. These are all the solid organs of the body. And the upkeep of these solid organs of the body is determined by the right flow of the root chakra. It is so important for us. On the physical plane, this is what it does to us. But on the psychological plane, since it roots us to earth, it keeps us grounded to the realities around us, which is highly essential for the adaptation to live in this planet Earth. Since Earth is stable, it gives our psyche a sense of stability and the power to succeed. Setting roles, setting goals. I need to succeed. So for that quality to manifest into the actual success, whether it's perceived by the people in the world or within our own selves, the fine rotation, the optimal rotation of this chakra is again essential. So this takes care of that psychological element of our existence. So that is root chakra. This is also the chakra where the Kundalini energy, that is the ultimate energy of this planet Earth, which is captured as a microcosm and it is there in every human being. This is the seed of Kundalini energy. As we grow, as we refine ourselves, as our thinking and our consciousness improves, this Kundalini energy releases slowly and steadily. If the Kundalini energy gets released at one shot, the body cannot handle it. We fall sick. There are many, many illnesses that we just can't deal with it because it's so powerful. The rest of the organs will collapse. So this is that energy which rises up very slowly across our lifetime. And there comes a situation when we are ready to absorb all the energies that it exhibits. Now, this is about your root chakra. I'm slowly moving to the next level. This is called the Swadhisthana chakra, the second chakra. It is also called the sacral chakra. Now, this is located in your tailbone, the first one. The second chakra is located about 3 inches below your navel. Am I okay? I mean, is it comfortable?
Yeah.
Okay.
Please carry on.
This is located 3 inches below your navel. It rotates. Its vibrations are a little faster than that of the previous chakra. And it is associated. It rotates. When it rotates and when you focus a Kirlian camera on it, you will see that it has an orange color. It rotates with an orange shade. And it rotates faster than the previous one. Now the sacral chakra basically is the center. It is the hub. It houses the unfiltered emotions of the human mind. when we have emotions, when we express it to the external world, we have actually fine-tuned it, you know. We don't, the raw emotion is never expressed to the outside world, except in few cases where there is no stability. But by and large, we have real emotions in the mind. This center, the sacral center, is the center where it holds it, you know, it stores it. All the unfiltered primordial emotions, the sexual energies, the creativity. It's basically, it's a point of creativity. When I say point of creativity, it is responsible for the upkeep of the reproductive organs in the human body, in females and in males. In males, its influences around helping them to enable that impulse, the creative impulse which exists in a male, and it enables the female parts of the body, the female reproductive organs, to absorb those impulses. When conception takes place, the male, the sperm comes in as an impulse, an electrical impulse, and then it gets absorbed, sucked by the woman's reproductive organs if there is capability. And if there is capability in the impulse to move on. Basically, this is the point where the reproduction can happen, where a child can be conceived, where the child can be nourished, where it can be treated through those months of gestation, where the child's psychic, physical, intellectual, and emotional dimensions of the mind are created, where the sexuality of the child is determined. So any problem, any discrepancies in the vibration can cause many issues, which all of you know. I don't have to dwell on those issues of either childbirth or conception or problems with the newborn child. Now it is so powerful, this chakra, the chakra of creativity. In very creative people, like artists, performing artists, visual artists particularly. For visual artists, because visual artist is very, in cases of visual artists, this area, this orange color actually is very bright. It's extremely, the vibration is awesome because they're constantly working with colors and creativity. So the creative element is, you know, in fine tune with the existence of that particular artist. Now this is the main source, holds unfiltered emotions, responsible for functioning of all the reproductive organs of the human system. Now this is the way this is the first chakra is associated to earth, the second chakra is associated to water, because energies flow, sexual energies flows, emotions, they flow. And it also on the physical plane, it is responsible for the good health of all the liquid, fluid parts of our body, like the blood, the lymph, the tears. And there are a lot of liquids in our eyes and ears and the cerebrospinal fluid. Anything which flows in the body, including air, is governed by the functioning of this great sacral chakra, the second chakra, the energy center. Now, when it's not in proper functioning, there is dryness which happens on the physical front. There is a disorder or an autoimmune disorder called arthritis. Now, arthritis is basically the drying of the those little lubricants in between bones, you know, and bones start rubbing against each other, and there is severe pain. Now, the drying of the cartilage in between the bones is a result of drying of your the low vibration of this sacral chakra. So it's responsible for various water-based illnesses. Edema, excess vibration creates excess water retention in the body. So we can now comprehend, you know, it's related to water and it's related to the sense of taste. It's water which gives taste to our food. It's water which makes the fruit ripen. That's what enables us to feel the taste in our system. This chakra is very important for the sensory organ, tongue and taste. I just forgot to mention the root chakra. The first chakra is responsible for the sense of smell, like the salt smelling. So it provides us a fantastic sense of the sensory organ knows and its activity smell. This is smell and now this is taste. We now move into one other great chakra, the third chakra. In Sanskrit, it's called the Manipura chakra. And in English, it's called the solar plexus chakra. This chakra is so vital, it absorbs the sun's energy. It is actually this, if this is earth, this is water, this is fire. What are the qualities of fire? Fire expands and it moves in an upward direction. That's precisely what this particular chakra does to us. In its vibration, it creates combustion, due to which our food is digested one and it is assimilated by the body. Not everything we eat and drink is absorbed by the body. For assimilation of food to take place, the body needs to be in great health. Its immune system needs to be in a completely fantastic, functioning level. So this chakra and its vibration enables that. For a person who's got a great vibration in the solar plexus area, whatever little food they eat, the vitamins and the nutrients are extremely well taken by the body. It's absorbed by the body. When we have a weaker sense of vibration in this third chakra, whatever we eat, it actually comes out. It comes out without the nutrient being absorbed by the body. So it's important to generate the right kind of fire in this chakra, the fire chakra. I think it's been known to ancient people at a very, very, detailed level, to such an extent that we have sayings and idioms like fire in the belly. What does fire in the belly mean? That amazing confidence, that amazing self-confidence and the will to move on, the will to focus and move. So that is determined by this chakra on the psychological front. So when we have to determine, if when the food is not being digested, we can work around this chakra. We can get it back into its fully performing state. Now that's a different area altogether. Although it's all related, due to lack of time, I will not be able to touch upon cleansing. We could do it at a different session. Sorry. Now, your self-confidence, your existence, and your identity, what you are is determined by what you think you are and what others think you are. So that is determined by here. So do take care of your Manipura chakra. It also helps all the other chakras to function well due by its fire. We now move on to the fourth chakra, which is called, now this Manipura chakra is situated on the gland. This is, the first chakra is situated on the suprarenal, they're all on the endocrinal glands, which I forgot to mention. This is on the suprarenal gland, the first chakra. The second chakra is on your gonads, the reproductive gland. And the third chakra, Manipura chakra, is literally on your pancreas. And sometimes part of the liver, or the liver is not an endocrine gland, it's an exocrine gland. Now we now move to Anahata chakra, the fourth chakra. It's also called the heart chakra. Now this heart chakra is actually situated where your breastbones meet. And there is an endocrine gland called the thymus. It's literally situated on the thymus. Now it vibrates generally with a green hue. But sometimes you can also see yellow and gold and I think pink color around this chakra. Now the color, by the rotating color, actually determines the state of your health. Now if you understand certain statements and sayings in English, pink of health. So what does it actually mean? Being in the pink of health is being in the fantastic state of vibration in the heart chakra. Now this heart chakra is related to the element, it's associated to the element of air. And it has the qualities of air. What are the qualities of air? It's a movement. Can you contain air? If you contain it, it builds pressure. And the minute it's out of the container, it moves. So movement is one of the most important character of this chakra. Now this chakra helps the movement of various things within our body. What are the things which moves in our body? One are the liquids, the blood and various liquids we just mentioned, it moves up and down. The thoughts move, the emotions move, the psychic energies move. So this heart energy enables the movement of various body components, the physical and the metaphysical components. Now this is also the central chakra. You have 3 below this and you have 3 above this. So on the physical front, it enables movement of the body, including your excretory functions. You need movement for that, you know. If it doesn't move, you are down with constipation. So it's, or if there is too much of air around you, it's a gassy sensation. It's really bad. So this chakra needs to be functioning as the other chakras in its optimum level of vibration for us to feel nice. And when it is over functioning on the psychology, this is also the relationship chakra. Air is that of relationship, because the air which flows when two people are close by, the same air is connecting the two people through the electromagnetism. Now let's consider this thing. Out of sight is out of mind. When it is out of sight, the person is not anywhere around us. So there's no air which is touching two or more people, you know. So there is no relationship there. So the person moves away. So this is one of the biggest cause of people moving away, and the relationship between the spouses, the parents, or with anybody else, friends. You know, there is a certain amount of dilution that happens because of the lessening of the vibration of the heart chakra. To remain connected, there's, you know, to remain connected, there are various ways and means we use. We talk, we do Zoom calls these days, we write letters, and we stay connected at the mental plane. When there is too much of this air energy in our system, apart from the gassiness and constipation on the physical front, on the psychological front, it causes too much relationship. When I say too much relationship, it means a certain level of possessiveness, which is actually, it's terrible for the people around, you know, who are being, who are enduring this possessiveness by a given individual. So you want to break free. So there's so much of it, too much of possessiveness causes anxiety. We're always anxious for these people, for people with whom we are very, very, we are having overt relationship. I think as a mother, as a woman, it's very important to have a fantastic heart chakra, because we cannot allow our inconsistencies and our heart chakra's problems to disturb the growth of our children, spouses, and family and friends around us. I mean, the let go comes from a great, what is the rotation of this particular green colored, pink colored, yellow colored heart chakra, which is the central chakra which connects these three and these three. There is much more to this, but I think I have touched upon the most important aspect of it. I'm moving on to your next chakra, which is the final chakra on the spinal cord. Now this is situated on your thyroid gland in the neck, and vibrates with a great blue color. Sometimes it's dark blue, sometimes it's light blue, and sometimes it can also have some indigo tinge, you know, light indigo tinge. Now this chakra is called the throat chakra in English and Vishuddha chakra in Sanskrit. This is basically the lie detector. So we have lie detectors, the physical lie detectors, which are used in very many, would say, investigative processes. But this is our lie detector. When we lie to ourselves, there are multiple occasions where we are lying to ourselves. We may think, hey, I'm great. I'm the ultimate, what is it, the last word in smartness. I'm the last word in A, B, C, D. Sometimes we are lying to ourselves because we may not be so. Most of the time we are not so. All those lies, you know, gets collected here, and it gets into, these collections are not good. They block. When there is blockages of all these negative energies, we go through health issues. We have problems addressing people around us. We have problems addressing around us. We lose our confidence, and we are in self-doubt. So this chakra has to be kept in great condition, because it is also the center for holding your iodine, which is one of the most prominent things in sugar metabolism and metabolism of your solar plexus energy, the food in the solar plexus energy. So iodine is also blue in color. Iodine chemical is also blue in color. Now, with iodine metabolysis, using iodine for food metabolysis, this chakra helps you to think clear. It is a helping chakra to the next chakra in clarity of mind. When we are clear, when we know who we are, a sense of identity is established, we are not going to be lying to ourselves or to outside the world. So be it. This is what I am, and I am comfortable under my skin. This is my identity. When you know your identity, there is such a great sense of connectedness. First, connectedness is to earth. Once we are connected to earth, we are connected to everything on this earth. People, other family members, trees, plants, the whole works, animals. We are able to see animals and learn from them. So this is that great Vishuddhi Chakra. There's something else I would like to talk about the Vishuddhi Chakra. This metabolism is important because it regulates the assimilation and provision of energy to the body. Energy, whatever energy is present in the body, this chakra directs it to different organs and parts of the body in a very, very, measured manner, because each requires only certain amount of the unit energy. And this keeps on changing. If this increases that energy, somewhere else, something has reduced its energy. So we have problems at multiple levels. So energy balance is maintained by this Vishuddhi, the light detector, the throat chakra, which is on your thyroid gland, which is so important. We now move on to, there's much more to it. I definitely would recommend, there's a lot of materials available by many great authors. This is basically a self-research kind of a knowledge base, and I can assure you it's amazing. I have got rid of many situations and mental blocks using and understanding the knowledge base. So we now move to another, from here we move to these two chakras, the Agnya chakra. Agnya is command. In English, it's the bro chakra. It is in between your bro, the third eye chakra. Now this third eye chakra is a seat of meditation. It is where your manasa, the mind, manasu, manasil. So if you look at various languages, language is more than spoken word. It is grammar. It is science. So this chakra is a seat of mind. What is the mind? Mind is a place where you generate thoughts, you generate ideas, you generate very many creative images, you generate fantasism, you generate emotions, good, bad, and the ugly emotions. And emotions are generated every second, every nanosecond, because our thoughts are constantly coming and going. So just imagine the power this thing is going to require. Again, vibrating very fast compared to the base level chakras. Now this chakra is again enables you to get, sense, and build your identity, particularly during your teenage years. That's when the identity is established. So children who do not find their identities, they are flowing here, there, and everywhere. They tend to have friends who are so different from them. They get into drugs, they get into various other problems, or they get into the right kind of companionship. So the people whom you deal with matters. So those guys shape the identities of these kids. But if the process of meditation is right, we may be, a young child may be in the company of very many negative people, but when the sense of identity is established, he or she will move away from that set of human beings and move into sets of people who are more in their tune, their wavelength, their vibes. The vibes are basically the vibrations of our chakras, which will help them to grow. Now this chakra also, it rotates with an indigo color. It has the color of indigo in its rotation. Now indigo is associated with everything that's on a higher plane, higher emotional level, in search of self-actualization. Self-actualization is a very dormant psychic energy present in most people. Whatever we do, why are we not comfortable when we do something, when we've achieved something? With this, so many things we have. For people who have made loads and loads of money, they have money, fame, name. Still, in some individual, there is that little sense of vacuum. That vacuum probably is that need to self-actualize, which has not happened. For self-actualization, we need to build our consciousness to a very great level. There is multiple levels of consciousness. So our emotions actually move around multiple levels of consciousness. So when the consciousness levels moves up, it increases. So When we are more conscious, we get in more realms into our system of thinking. We are able to perceive more realms than what we currently do under lower level of consciousness. If you look at a metal, why do we have hand-me-down metals in the homes, like jewelry, like pital ka saman, like pital saman, like we have all those things which we now decorate in our homes. It's come from grandmother to mother to mother-in-law to daughter-in-law to daughters. Primarily, these things have lived in the homes for hundreds of years, and it has a condensed consciousness. Anything which is solid is also conscious, but it is at a very, very condensed level. Now, this is actually depicted in the Itihasa Ramayana, where Rama actually helps Ahalya to come back to her form, to her human form. She was cursed for some reason. I don't want to get into the story, it's going to take a lot of time. And she was cursed and she had become a rock. And when Rama touches her, the energy brings her back from earth to, from rock to, her consciousness level goes up to the human level and she's restored back. It's actually a science, a very, very intrinsic science. So it doesn't need, it cannot be understood by the sensory organs. It needs beyond sensory organs. It needs many, many extrasensory perceptions, not just the sixth sense, or multiple nth sense for these things to happen. So that is the power of this Ajna Chakra. It commands the body. That mind commands you what to do. Sometimes they say mind is a monkey. It commands you to do all the wrong things. So we need to have the command of the mind. Then I think life is comfortable. We enjoy it. It's a little bit hunky-dory. We have people around us. We are able to influence people. We have friends. And we have great families. We have great lives, great relationships. People like to be with us, which I think which is the greatest gift we can have. So that is this Ajna Chakra, which is your third eye. Now we finally move into the final chakra on this plane, which is situated on the top of your center top of your head. This is called the crown chakra or the Sahasrara chakra. Sahasrara in Sanskrit means 1,000. Basically, these chakras in the ancient philosophies are represented, their vibrations are represented as petals, petals in movement, petals in motion. Now here there are 1,000 petals, 921 or 930 or I forget the number, petals are in the outer circle of movement and rest of them are in the inner circle of movement. It rotates so fast, it is able to touch or it is able to communicate with the higher level of thinking, the higher self or the God particle. To each his own, we see God in different ways. So this chakra with its rotation, when it is in its great rotation, when we have a great command over our mentation, it takes us beyond the physicalities of our existence and it moves on. It gets connected with, that is actually self-realization. It rotates with a violet tinge, a great violet tinge. Sometimes it's white, sometimes it's yellow. If we look at some of those images of our gods and learned men and gurus, the enlightened people, you see a halo around their head. Sometimes it's a yellow halo, sometimes it's a white halo. So this is the culmination of the rainbow colors, all the 7 colors fused into one, which sometimes makes you, people can perceive the violet hue. And when it's completely fused in great attunement with nature, it comes in as a white hue. And our Kirlian camera can capture it to a great, phenomenal, beautiful extent. Now this is your crown chakra. And this crown chakra, sorry, I'm going back to Agnya Chakra. Agnya Chakra is located on your pituitary gland, your master gland, which commands all the other glands to perform to its fullest extent. Pituitary gland. We now move on to the original crown chakra, which we were just discussing. It is situated on a wonderful gland called the pineal gland. The current science, which actually works on the 5 sensory organs, they do not know much. There's nothing much about the pituitary organ. They in fact call it a vestigial organ. But in the ancient sciences, probably their technology was far more advanced. I'm sure it was far more advanced because they could see, sense even electromagnetic fields and electrophotonic fields. Now, according to that, pineal gland is the center of life and existence. Pineal gland is the gland where melatonin is produced. Melatonin is that chemical which helps us sleep. And it needs darkness for it to function when we need to sleep. And in that darkness, we have complete rejuvenation of our body cells. Therefore, what happens most of the time in current situation, we are living in yuga, in the time of yantras, of the machines. So we are constantly with our mobile phones and tablets and notebooks. So we are listening to music. Probably we think we are doing great job on it, doing our work. But in the night, after a certain time, we cannot be subjecting ourselves to these signals. And this kind of light is also a signal because it distorts the working of our melatonin production in the pineal gland. And when melatonin gets reduced, what appears on the human body, the white vitiligo, or the condition called, what is that white thing happening in the body? Leukoderma. So although the medical science has not even delved anywhere near it, leukoderma, they say in ancient philosophies, is caused by a malfunctioning of your Agnya chakra. Now, these are our 7 chakras. These are exuding energies. Now, I'm going to take you to another very interesting part of our body. Megu, can I request you to put the next image? Thank you very much. Now, each of these chakras basically, can you expand it a bit? Can you just enlarge it a bit?
Somewhere after 3 minutes, it's
First.
going to beep.
Are you able to see, ladies? Yeah.
Lakshmi, can you hear me?
Sorry?
Yeah, after 3 minutes, it might beep. So you
can you just inform the people?
Yeah. So after 3 minutes, it's 12:42 now, everyone. So it might beep after 3 minutes, and it can get disconnected. Okay. So so requesting everybody to, even if it disconnects, just click on the same link again and join back, because the session is going to get extended. Okay. Over to you, Lakshmi.
Thank you so much. Now we have just traveled, and we have just actually traveled through each of these chakras. And now what we need to do, we need to understand another great thing these chakras do, apart from all the physical, psychological thing it's doing to the internal body. When these chakras rotate, what happens is it radiates light and energy outside our body, which are called auras in general parlance. Now, the root chakra basically, it emanates energy, and that energy settles as the first aura. You see this red color thing around the human body? So this is literally on your body, just outside the skin. And it is very, very close to the body. This is actually called the ethereal twin. Ethereal twin means it is so close to the body. The shape of this thing is exactly the shape of a human body. Since it is so close to a human body, it actually captures everything that happens in our body. It records everything that happens in our body. Our illnesses, our good thoughts, our bad thoughts, our emotions, and the whole works. Now, this ethereal body, it draws energy from the earth through the root chakra, because root chakra is what gives you earth energy. So this energy is drawn from this root chakra, and from the Manipura, the stomach chakra, the solar plexus chakra, it draws the energy of the sun. So it combines the energy of the earth and the energy of the sun, and it radiates. It radiates so beautifully that it makes you feel good. It gets the cosmic energy into your system. It cleanses your auras. It cleanses your chakras, and it keeps you in a great energetic form. It is also called as it holds emotions. Unfiltered emotions are again settled here, because it is so very close to the body. When it is in great movement, it emanates heat energy, which is about 2 inches away from your skin. And its form, it's in a great, it is it's seamless basically. There's no holes or there's no fissures around it. It is seamless and it's around your body. To sometimes when you touch, you say, no, we get this goosebumps, sorry. When you get goosebumps, your hair stands. So it's basically at around 2 inches, it is jetting out a huge amount of electromagnetic energy, which is attracted by the external electromagnetism, the earth's energy. Now this happens when we are in awe, when there is awe, when there is enthusiasm, when there's shock. These are the reactions, and this is the reaction shown by our first auric layer, the ethereal layer. Now it generates 2 inches of heat energy and light energy, and it envelopes us. It actually protects us. It's a protective layer. When the energy is 2 inches seamless around us, what happens is it prevents the entry of various germs, negative energies, and there are negative entities in this planet. It prevents the entry of all those things into our system. So don't you think it plays a very important role in your immunity building? So this is an immunity booster. This, along with all the chakras, it plays as an immunity booster. This auric layer disintegrates after the physical, after a person dies. In most of the communities and cultures across the world, there is some little ceremony which is done on the 3rd or the 4th day. It's primarily because this auric layer exists even after you die for about 3 to 5 days, depending on the power of its energy levels. Now this exists and this disintegrates completely. Only then this human being, this physical being on the planet Earth has moved on, has died. The body is destroyed, the auric layer is destroyed, the first auric layer is destroyed. It is the end of the entity of person A on this planet Earth. And what happens to the other 7 auric layers around us? They are energies, they move on into a different plane. And when the soul, the prana, which is the soul, that is the original identity of human beings. This body is a container for our existence on this planet Earth, along with its ethereal twin. So when this prana, when this soul wants to come back, it has a great choice and option. Nature is a phenomenal nurturer. It gives us an option, it gives us a choice. So let me come back to Earth, and the soul chooses who will be its parents, because we need to walk the path of our karma. And what is karma? Karma is unfinished work, or the mistakes which we have not yet corrected, in many words. So those unfinished work is stored in all these other six auric layers, which are created by the other 6 chakras. Now this moves on, it remains as an energy product, it remains as a nano atom or beyond an atom, and it's there somewhere in the universe. And when it comes back as a new person, by and large, the memories remain very, very dormant, and it manifests itself in the form of dreams. Sometimes we get strange dreams and the sense of deja vu. This memory is taking you to those experiences, it's bringing those experiences back into your new form, your new body, your new entity, your new identity. That is what is actually a sense of deja vu. That deja vu is not real in this body, the new body, but the deja vu has been there sometime in your previous lives. Because by the law of physics, by Einstein's law of relativity, energy is neither created nor destroyed. It only gets transformed. Our transformed energy now comes into the new life, into new forms. I would like to take you to the second layer. It's very interesting layer. This has all our mental processes, our thoughts, huge emotions also in this. It contains it, it records it. So if you think the center in the brain, which is the memory center, that's the only center which records, no. How do people, in spite of having injury to that part of the brain, the physical part of the brain which is responsible for memory, they still remember? There are patients who remember because there is this memory here. There is one more, a USB or something else which has stored your memory here. So you lose one memory there, there's multiple memories. This memory never gets destroyed. That is the beauty of memory, and that is the enigma of memory. Now, this layer is not very close to the body. It's one auric layer removed. This layer basically is clear in normal, clear human beings. But children or people who suffer from a condition called the Down syndrome, do you people know? It's a mental retardation basically. It is something which happens on your 21st chromosome, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Instead of being XY, it is in triplets. There are 3 chromosomes in that, which causes mental retardation. For patients or people with mental retardation, the second auric layer is very cloudy. It's gray, it's cloudy, it's not clear. So a lot of psychics and healers, they work around the energy systems in the body and they clear this. Or they attempt to clear. Sometimes it's possible to reduce the cloudiness. And this can be captured by the word dense. Why are you so dense? Don't we ask people sometimes? Oh, he's very dense. Which means it is the lowering of the intelligence, the intellect in your Ajna chakra, which gets reflected as a dense cloud on your auric, second auric layer, the emotional layer. And it actually vibrates with various colors. Although the first auric layer vibrates with, sometimes it's a grayish color that it vibrates with. Although it is related to the red colored, what is this, root chakra, it emits gray color. Now this second chakra emits multiple colors, the rainbow colors. Can you guess why? Can anybody guess why this emits multiple shades, the rainbow shades? I can't hear. Okay, let me go ahead. Basically, this is capturing all your emotions, your thoughts, and your ideas. And emotions are crazy buggers, you know. They're crazy entities because they're constantly there, up and down, and they move with great speed. The energy, the emotion is transferred as a thought molecule or a thought particle. It moves so fast. It's constantly being captured on this. So when there is great colors of blue and yellow and red and green, it infers that the person's emotions is great, doing well. The person is thinking well. So there is stable emotional situation. But when it turns cloudy, dark, light gray, dense, we know that there is a blockage in the emotions. The emotional upheaval could be through various traumas, through accident, loss of a dear one, betrayals, lack of identity, the fears. But today, particularly today with the COVID situation, some of us are able to deal with it at an external level. But deep down, I think there is that little sense of what's going to happen, a little insecurities around our future. It is there. Some of us know how to deal with it, some of us don't, and some of us think we deal with it, but here in our auric layer, the fears are captured. The fears are captured. So actually to deal with such situations, emotional upheavals, and not negative thoughts, what we need to do, we need to cleanse, we need to look, meditate, cleanse. And meditation is a completely different activity altogether. I cannot talk about it now due to lack of time. And there are great meditators whom we can invite and we can all learn from them how to meditate. I'm still a rookie at it, but whatever I do has worked for me. I'm not very sure if I'll be able to guide people through intense meditation. Now we come to the third layer. The third layer, auric layer, is again mental layer. It captures the collective unconscious. We're all born with collective unconscious. Like the psychologist Carl Jung had propounded, you know, there is this collective unconscious. What is collective unconscious? That is the collected memories of the entire human race across civilizations. The symbols mean a lot. We just think symbols are created. It's created by some person somewhere. No, it's created by a huge bunch of the biological energies. You know, people, civilizations, ancient civilization, the current, the future. So this captures all the mental works, the mental acts, the ideas. And as you know, depending on our mental state, that's how it vibrates. That's how it radiates its colors. Now, green is again, it captures the higher level of joy, love, since it's associated to the heart chakra. It captures everything that happens in our heart, the hatred, the love we have. So, for example, people who indulge in racial cleansing and racial hatred, like the Nazis, for example, and there are many, very many examples. I don't want to get into the specificities. Basically, their heart chakra is in a very, very poor shape. There is a lot of anger around. The colors are different. The colors are not perceivable. So hatred is such a powerful emotion. It causes the complete breakdown of all these chakras. We are in great what's a need for healers. We are in great need for looking into ourselves and introspection. Even for us, there may be a situation where for that period, maybe for that half an hour, there's somebody who's actually been mean to us. There could be a sense of hatred which might crop in, but it's important to recognize it. The minute we recognize anything that's negative and not good for us, selfishly we will deal with it and we'll try and rid. So it's important for us to know these schools of thoughts and this body of knowledge actually helps us. No doctor can tell us how to get rid of emotional blockages, because the current medicine, with due respect to its life-saving abilities and taking care of many kinds of illnesses, it is basically illness, treating system. We are talking here of not even wellness. We are talking of the concept of well-being, for you to live to the maximum in this planet and get self-realized and move on. Now, these things are basically associated to the first three auras. They are only at a higher level of thinking, and this is at the spiritual level. So I'm not going to delve deeper into these things because it might be repetitive, because this is at lower level, physical and emotional and psychological. This is beyond that level. It's a very, very higher level of self. Heart also is actually at a higher level, because you need to be at a higher level to feel for human beings, to empathize with people, to sympathize with people. Getting into the shoes of somebody, that it needs a very, very different kind of heart vibrations. So only then some leaders are born that way. Some leaders are not power hungry. In psychology, they are called people with need for affinity. Those leaders have a very high level of empathy. And these are the leaders who know how not to get that empathy and that sympathy for others to penetrate or permeate into their system. They build strong mind and strong auras, which doesn't let you get inside the system. So basically, according to the ancient school of various schools, particularly the chakra school of knowledge of energies and harnessing energies, believes that illness is a physically and internally driven situation. It's never external. Why do some people get viral infections and not some? The reference I would like to bring here is the conjunctivitis, which is a viral infection of the eyes. In the same family, there might be 1 or 2 people getting it, but not the other 7 members. Why? This is the most, it plays a very important role in this. Great vibration, 2 inches away from the skin, and seamless. When something is seamless, how can anything penetrate into it? It cannot. So it is not actually infecting your eyes. Similarly, some people get cold and some people don't. Cold is again, it's driven internally, stress-related activity. You're under stress, there's probably overflow of water because this is working towards helping you get rid of it. Cold is actually a defense mechanism. Normal cold. When it exceeds a certain level, they say probably it indicates this cancer. That's again due to energy. The reason being, cancer is an output of excess heat in the body. It's only heat and cold which determines us. It's the temperature which plays the most important role. And that heat and cold is determined by this great body of energies within and outside and around. So the body actually induces excessive cold to calm and to cool the system, so that sometimes the cancer may not spread, to contain the cancer. So cold is actually a phenomenal defense mechanism. And it's important to get cold once in a way. Somebody's laughing. Hina is laughing. Thank you so much. I hope you interpreted it the way I have. So, ladies, I guess, I don't want to bore you all further because these are slightly heavy, information. So, I could conclude that energy is actually, is the key to immunity. Energy is synonymous with immunity. The right energy within you, great. My immunity is fabulous. So we can work around this. Actually, if we start working around this, the impact is great. But we need to have patience. It took me quite a while to understand. I picked up a book on chakra. Again, probably I was seeking from within. I didn't know that, not at conscious level. It's probably at subconscious level. I picked up a book when we had relocated to Bangalore from Mumbai some 12 years back. Very thin book. I just didn't bother. I lost it for many years. And it was some 5-6 years back. I went through a little difficult menopause, and I had a huge. Wow, thank you. It's basically what happened was huge bleeding and complete. I was on probably 7 or 8 hemoglobin, and there was very many things happening. I'd become so dark. I'm not saying the darkness as in a great, lovely, dusky complexion. What I meant is, I became so dark. It's dark. It's not black, I would say, And I knew there's something wrong. My iron levels are less. Started taking iron. Met a great doctor in Bangalore. Amazing, the highly qualified medical doctor who uses the alternate schools of medicine to treat a patient. She asked me, "You have a huge fibroid." And we went to another doctor in another well-known hospital. She said, "Hey, you must get into the operating theater right away, or you may die, or it may turn cancerous." When she said that, how the family is, my husband was very scared. He said, "No, I think we need to go for this." So I had to beg, literally, I had to beg and say, "No, I need time. I think I can get rid of this myself." They started this journey, this phenomenal. I have become such great friends with these things. I love to read. There's so much of information around them. There's so much of knowledge. Information converts into knowledge. And then knowledge becomes wisdom, the ancient great wisdom. And there's learning every day. There's coming to my fibroid, I actually got rid of it. It took me 3 to 4 years. But the minute I attained menopause, it became faster. With those excess estrogen levels coming to a normal level or even reducing. Estrogen is responsible for all these fibroid growths at any part of your body. Even for people with some kind of cancers, it's basically a hormonal imbalance too. And when my fibroid was under control, and then it started reducing, then from 18 by 14, it came to 2 by 1. And then I think it's almost not there now. I haven't gone back for any checkup to see if the 2 has become 0. But I believe it has become 0. It's a complete, and it also got a certain level of calmness into the system. That agitation, it reduced, and more, welcoming of people, reaching out. By nature, I am a people's person. But then when I was going through the stage, I just didn't want to. It used to be a big pain to go get dressed. When people would invite us for dinner, oh my God, Ravi, I don't want to come. Why don't we just cancel it? The distance, the excuses would be traffic jams. Bangalore is known for its traffic jams. So traffic jam to blah, blah, to blue, blue. And then the chakras becomes one with you, then you're able to feel it within your system. You're able to feel it. You're able to control it. There are so many methods, alternate therapies to control it. We have methods like gem therapy. We have color therapies.
Yeah. How long are you practicing this?
Pramila, I actually started, let's say, about 5, 6, 7 years back. And now it's more subconscious in me than conscious. I don't sit and do that meditation. It just happens, it's there, it happens. I'm sure some of our participants, my guests and attendees like Nirja Malik can tell you how she is a survivor of such a devastating and challenging condition. I'm sure they've used something like this.
Lakshmi,
So most human beings actually do this without understanding what it is. When you understand, when you read, when you gain knowledge and convert that knowledge into wisdom, it's a more powerful tool. It's a great tool to do many things. You become more intuitive. What I forgot to inform you all is this knowledge makes you, some of us are born with a higher level of intuition, but most of us are, okay, we perform, we function with our intellect. It's good enough for our adaptation into this world. We do a great job.
So, in the sense, like when you started, for example, so how long, so once you got to know the do's and don'ts or whatever that is, so how long on a daily level, what is the time you used to take to practice? And then how did you continue your journey till here maybe?
Okay.
And after that, we can take question and answers from the rest of the groups also.
Okay. See, basically, I'm not a very disciplined person, Like I think creatively, and I go ideate, and I do a lot of work in my kitchen. I work from home. When you work from home, you're not time bound. So I'm not a morning person also. So each day it would be a different time I would do this. Mostly it used to be in the evenings, between 5 and 5:15, 5:30, and then I would step out for my walk, just to capture that evening energy, meet my friends, just to rejuvenate myself. When I have done my chakra meditation, I'm in great form. I love everybody I meet outside. The days I don't do my chakra meditation, when we go out, we do get into some gossip modes with friends. You know what I mean? When you're activating your chakras, you are receiving your energies. It becomes a receiving station of all positive energies. It's a great way to live. Now, coming back to what you asked, it wasn't a disciplined way of doing, but it was disciplined enough to do it almost every day, at some point of time or the other. And chakra meditation, one prominent thing, one important thing is start from your root chakra. You need to root yourself to earth and then move upwards. There was a time when I was just trying to explain. At that point of time, I didn't know whether you start from your bottom or your top. And honestly, I didn't know. Most of it has been experiential learning, complete immersion in experiential learning. This is something I think we all are gifted with, that because we are part of this energy system. Somewhere in our cells, there is stored memory of how to go about it. Each one of us, we have a eureka moment. So we can figure that out ourselves. So I did one evening, I did my chakra meditation, head downwards. Believe me, I suffered from such severe pain in my tailbone. I couldn't figure out why this is happening. And then I did again back to root chakra to Sahasrara chakra for a month or so. And one day I just went, I don't know why I went from top to bottom and the same pain appeared. So then one could relate, one could relate to, again, it's your cells, your body cells are very intelligent. It tells you, hey, that day, the common thing between now, this pain and that day's pain is you did your chakra from crown downwards. Don't do that. So that was a very, valuable lesson I learned. And somewhere later on, I met somebody who was explaining to do chakra meditation, who told me that, you always start with root chakra. But now I know exactly why we do. We need to root ourselves to earth. Keeping us grounded, we move to cleanse our system. We don't want to become Buddha, right? At least I don't want to. I want to have a great health to lead my life. And I would like to pray and gain out of Buddha's teachings.
So in the sense, like you need to start, in a nutshell, we need to start from bottom and go on.
Yeah, just remember that. Yeah, you don't have the luxury to forget that. Start root yourself. While doing the meditation, what happens is, even when, our root chakra's energy levels have become a little weak, when we do this meditation, it grounds us, it gets the right kind of electromagnetism, which gets attracted back to our gravity. It grounds us. Once it's grounded, you can work around all your other chakras. And when you work around your chakras, your temperature is maintained, at the most, moderate and optimal temperature required for a good, healthy body.
Okay. Thanks for that beautiful session. And before, thanks for that answer also. And the next question is from Rohini Kula. Rohini Kula,
hi Rohini. Can you ask Rohini to get a video on? Rohini is a dear friend.
Rohini and others can get your video and mics on now,
Okay,
and
there's my video
everybody
on
can
for you.
start.
Rohini, can I see you, dear? Ah, hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Very well. Rohini is a dear friend. She's a dear friend of my husband, ex-colleague from Xerox and Canon, and they've been in. I think I'm hearing your voice for the last 2 days. Thank you very much for coming here, Rohini.
No, thank you so
Now,
much. I think in the
shoot
past
your question and
Ravi
don't corner me with that.
No, I really, it was more in the light of things where I said, so when you discovered the small book and you rediscovered the small book, which aura were you displaying? That was in jest.
I just don't remember. I can send you the recording. I think it's Aura 2. Aura number 2. That's where it captures all your emotions, your thoughts, your ideas, the memories, you know.
Yeah, because I'm really a convert. I never used to believe in any of these things, Lakshmi. And for one, I'm a believer now in the power of visualization.
Rohini, I'm not able to hear you.
1 second.
You are able to hear, Rohini.
You're able to hear? I don't know. There's some
Yeah.
problem, I think, with my...
I'm able to hear. 1 second, 1 second.
From Rohini's end, it's fine, Lakshmi, because we are able to hear her completely.
Rohini, go ahead. If I have a problem, I think somebody else can shoot it back
Okay.
at me. I can hear you, Pramila.
Yes, what Rohini was saying is that she was not, really for such things. But after hearing your story, why you started and the way you explain, she really feels connected. Yeah, Rohini, is that what you're trying to say?
Also, Lakshmi, I've really started believing a lot in something called the power of visualization. And I'm sure you've experienced that as well.
Yes.
If I very firmly visualize exactly what I want, somewhere or the other, it appears for me.
Rohini,
I mean, it
actually...
is as basic as thinking that, so I have a, I mean, this is a very funny example for everybody.
okay.
I guy who comes home with the honey basket. You know, he has the honey comb inside his bucket, dirty looking, grubby looking man, but he comes and sells me honey. And that's honey straight from the tree in our hands. So every time I'm running out of honey, I honestly start visualizing my honey man.
And it'll part come to you.
Almost within the week, he's there.
Oh gosh.
See, Rohini, I mean, I quite relate with what you're saying. These are called a positive self-fulfilling prophecy. The universe is actually with us. The universe is
Correct.
conspiring
Really
with us. It conspires with us. What we really need, you know, we think it comes as a thought, and then, you know, things happen. There are situations where you want to call somebody, maybe a husband, you just say, oh, I need to call, and you'll receive a call from them. So there's a very, very common, thought exchange, and it
Power of
happens.
intention.
Sorry?
I said power of intention within
The
us.
power of?
Intention.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Intention is such a powerful energy. When the
And the
power of
next question
intention
is
is strong, it happens, it manifests. It comes in as the way you wanted it to happen. I'm sure a lot of people on this program would have experienced it. You think and it happens,
I'll give you
and
another
it happens, it
example.
works.
I'll give you another example where I was actually introduced to visualization. I hurt my tailbone. I fell and I busted my tailbone. So I believe there is no way that a tailbone repairs. You just gotta get used to it. So I remember telling a friend of mine about my tailbone. So she called me back the next day and she says, and she's into this kind of healing and stuff like that. And she called me back and said, this is what I've done for you. I said, what have you done for me? She said, on your tailbone, I have placed a nice warm water bag. She said, the minute you feel pain, gently caress that, you will feel the warm water which will cushion your tailbone and you will feel relief. I really thought she was kidding, man.
Yeah.
I mean, she's all the way in Frankfurt or Norway or wherever she was at that point of time. And here I am in Delhi, and how the hell can this happen with my tailbone? But I decided to give it a try. Terrible amount of pain. So I took it a step further and I visualized the color and the texture of this bag. And believe you me, every time I would gently caress it, I could feel and I would actually get myself to believe that I was having that, water which was flowing out of my nice green colored soft bag. And I would actually feel it. Ever since then, I'm a hardcore believer in the power of visualization.
Yeah. The power of the wish. To answer Pramila's question, I would agree with what Rohini just mentioned. When you actually meditate, it is through visualization. You have to visualize your chakra, visualize how it rotates, visualize its color. When you start visualizing, you'll start feeling it at some point of time, and the process of meditation begins. You learn to meditate. It may take a few days, few months, but then you have to have the patience and belief, it's going to happen. And then it becomes an automatic process. During meditation, there'll be billions of thoughts coming, but don't stop. Don't energize those thoughts. It'll just come and go. Sometimes, some memories will lead to very negative thoughts, bad experiences in life. At that point of time, you just feel a little let down, but I think you move on. You just don't let that thought come. I'm more powerful than this thought of mine.
Correct.
I am me because I am strong. Just move on. And once you may start meditating, and I mean, you have yourself in your hands, you can do what you want to do. Yes, Nirja?
You know what I wanted to say? Can you hear me, Lakshmi?
Yes, I can.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, so what I wanted to, all right, great. I'm just going to give you a little example.
Yeah.
So there was this 10-year-old child, and he came to me for counseling, cancer, and I pretended I didn't know what was the matter with him. So to cut it very short, I said, Beta, what's the matter? He said, I have blood cancer. I said, okay, what does that mean? He said, I have bad cells, bad blood cells in my blood, cancer cells. And this is what I told him. I told him, okay, I want to be what you play with. What are the toys you play with? He said, what, Power Men or something? I'd never heard of it. I said, all right, I want to be that. So his mother was an artist. She made me, I said, I want a silver costume. So I had a silver costume. He had a red because he had blood cancer. She became green and the father became blue. And one day when he came for his chemotherapy, she had these pictures. And I just told him one thing. I said, you know what? We are going to become very small. And all four of us are going to, with the chemotherapy, get into your bloodstream. And then with the, instruments you use, like the firearms to kill evil against good, we are going to get into your bloodstream. And wherever we see a bad cancer cell, we're going to do ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. You will not believe it, Lakshmi.
Yeah.
Practically overnight, the child started being responsible for his own treatment. And within no time, the cancer was out of his body. He came to me when he was about 10. He's now probably 20. He's in America in one of the best universities, doing very good for himself. So yes, I use that power of visualization. I changed it around. I tell people to put their x-rays onto a monitor in front of them and to shoot high energy balls and bullets to the areas which are not all right. Correct. So that they can heal themselves. Thank you, Lakshmi.
You've used the energy movements, you've just used the energy movement. What we were discussing, you've actually used it in this case and in yourself.
Without knowing.
Most of
God
us
is
use
great
it,
if you are receptive. If you are receptive and open, all this comes to you, like it did to you. And I'm so glad because you've explained this beautifully, Lakshmi. Thank you.
Actually, ladies, and there's one gentleman on this thing. I think, Nirja is one hell of an inspiring personality. Nirja she lives in Chennai, And she's one of those amazing cancer survivors. She's associated with very many activities.
Conquerors.
Yeah,
Cancer conquerors.
conqueror. Yes,
Cancer
that's a better
conquerors.
word. That's a more positive word. And she works around. She works around with people with this challenge. And she's also a health freak. I mean, she loves her marathons and runs and being part of the Pink Marathon and whatnot. Neerja
She's
ji,
a
we
great,
salute you for what you are.
a great inspiration for all of us.
Amazing inspiration. She's also a
Yes.
writer.
Yeah.
She's also a writer and
Oh,
a great friend, I would
my
say.
second book.
Lakshmi, there is a question here. Whether do you need formal training for chakra meditation?
Uh,
Do you need formal training for chakra meditation?
I think being initiated is always good. Being initiated coupled with self-learning. There are formal trainings. In fact, my company does formal trainings of chakra learning. It involves chakra meditation. It involves chakra healing, something like Reiki. But having said that, anybody who's interested can learn anything. There's enough and more information available on the internet, and there are hundreds and thousands of books written and I'm there. Can you hear me? I am trying to connect back. It's coming. None of you guys are there, but. Illama. Yeah, I know. No, all of you are there. It's all the names are there and no image or anything. But I can't see any of you all. Host has muted all participants. Okay. Nirja, are you there? Okay, I think they've all left. Yeah, we can. Correct.
Lakshmi?
One second, I think Mrudula ji.
Lakshmi, this is Sandy here.
Sandy, hi.
Hi. It was a good session.
Thank you, Sandy. Wait.
Thanks. I have some questions about Reiki and chakra meditation. I'll talk to you separately.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Bye.
One second, Sandy.
Bye.
Hello, Pramila. Yama. Hey, thank you, man. It's all the work that you guys did.